Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Maegan with her movie Soul Tie. Let's take another clip. Maegan, it's so nice to have you here, and it's so special because you were a member and now your film is here, and it's so lovely to sit here and have an interview with you. So thank you. Welcome back to the NFMLA family as an alumni now.
I'm very happy and I'm very grateful because the competition was tough. And there were no features, which I saw this year in this block. So I was like, there was a lot of short competition.
Yeah, well, you deserve your place with Soul Tie. It was such a brilliant film. I mean, it was so nice because the audience were just so receptive to it last night. It was amazing. The vibrations were beautiful. For those that haven't seen your film, tell us a little bit about it.
It is a romantic drama about an Afro-Latina's journey through the 2-year lockdown in Los Angeles, COVID lockdown during Los Angeles, and how she finds the love of her life, which turns out to actually be herself.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I mean, it was a really, really beautiful story, and I obviously completely fell in love with this character that led the way that you created, who is an iconic human being, not to mention what we'll talk about later. Where did this, for you personally, where did this idea, this inspiration come to you, and what was that kind of turnaround and like, I need to make this idea into a film?
I met, her stage name is Artagisa de los Santos. I call her Artagisa. And then Christina Sasso, who's one of the producers, we made films in 2015. Christina knew that I did a lot of logistical work for TV, but we were making some films in the Filmmakers Collaborative Challenge. We were downtown Los Angeles, and some women started speaking in Spanish in a negative way against Christina. Christina, myself, and Aldahisa present as Black women. And Aldahisa immediately screamed back at the lady in Spanish. And I was like, what the hell, you speak Spanish? And it hit me that around me, they never showed that they were Spanish. And I was like, this is an interesting level of being Black in America. And Christina is not a citizen of the United States. She's a permanent resident, I believe, from Panama. And then Aldahisa was born in the United States, and she has mixed heritage. Her father is from St. Vincent, her mother is from the DR. And so I just, at that moment, I said, Aldahisa, I want you to play me in a love story, you know, one day, because I want people to know we're the same person. Just our parents come from different places, you know? And also, Aldahisa and myself are larger in size. So being larger in size and being loved is not popular. It is popular in the Black community, even though it's not forefront and center, but it is when you leave Los Angeles or New York City, typically men are partnered up with women who are full-figured. It is a common thing, and I was like, I want to show it, you know, because I have never yet dated a larger size man. I am a bisexual woman. I've dated larger size women, but I have not. And I said, I just want to show that. And I was like, Aldahisa is the perfect person to play someone because she's actually Afro-Latina. And so that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Come COVID, I felt the confidence within myself to make a really great story. And then when I got laid off from Paramount with my severance, I took part of my severance and a lot of friend favors, and we made it. You know, so it was, you know, I wrote the outline for Aldahisa beginning of 2021. I was laid off in May. I sent out the script June of 2023. And then we shot it the first Pride weekend that the city was back open. You know, so a lot of people that they missed their Pride after all those years to make the film. And there were a lot of us who were in that community. So yeah, it was.
Oh, what a beautiful journey. Like, you know, 10 years in the make. But Aldahisa, I mean, goodness me, she is, I mean, I love her as a human being anyway, but like her on camera was I mean, I was mesmerized by just her performance, her feelings, her character, everything she told with her eyes, her movements, her feelings, everything was amazing. So this is a long journey, and it's a very sentimental, important to you, and you made this universal story. What was it like directing this piece? Because there's so many multiple layers in which you just explained. How is it directing? What was your kind of process and working together? And also working with someone that you really care about and love as well must be very special.
Well, directing, I knew I was going to be very specific because the other 2 times I had directed something, I wasn't specific enough. And I think I've grown in maturity to be like, what I want is important to be able to say, especially when you're directing a group of people. So I listened to a lot of videos of process directors that I love. Like I listened to Ava DuVernay, I listened to Sofia Coppola, I listened to Aaron Sorkin, who definitely has his stance. I listened to Quentin Tarantino. I listened to all of these people time and time again. I was like, the reason why their work looks a certain way is because they don't stop. They don't let someone else. And so I said, I knew when I went in, I had all these very opinionated, wonderful collaborators around me, but I had to be like, it makes sense to me. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
So when we went on set, since I am a unit production manager, line producer by trade, I knew the schedule. So yes, I had a first AD. Yes, I had other producer on set, but I knew the day in my mind. So I was very calm. I also knew what Al DeHisa could bring, and then Jarrell, because those are the only directors.
He's great too.
Yes, and I let Al DeHisa choose her partner.
Yeah. Oh, that's
amazing. So just because I knew it had to be so intimate.
Yeah.
And she knows so many actors, so they came over my house. I cooked for them food I had never cooked. I cooked Korean short ribs.
Ooh.
And
that's a way to get people. Oh, like, come on, that's not every director does that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I had them come over, so I was vulnerable, cooking them up food.
I love it.
And then I made mocktails, like because I'm a sober person, so I made mocktails, and we just had a really good time talking, getting to know each other. Al DeHisa was like, we're not going to go over lines. I said, I don't really think we need to. I think I need to see how you guys are comfortable with each other so that when clothes are off, we can be, and also she didn't want to have an intimacy coordinator, and he kind of went on her lead. So we went through all the intimacy, and that was prep. Also, with the DP, Nasreen and I, we did a lens test because I said I wanted to look like mahogany. I wanted to look like old 70s love because we were children of the 70s. And I said, it's really important that I want that. So we used the old vintage glass that mahogany was shot on with digital cameras, right? Yeah. So that's why it looks so either dreamy or cold. Because
I felt that aesthetic. That was beautiful.
Yes. So like in prep, because Nasreen said, well, let me know what mood you want in each scene. And so I was like, okay. So then when she put together the glass package, that was how it started. But it was basically like dinners, days with people. And then Christina talked a lot about the art. She was like, we need more art on the walls in this apartment that we were shooting in. And that will tell the story that she's Afro-Latina without beating us over the head with it with Spanish or whatever. So all of that helped the directing portion. So when I got on set the day, and I knew exactly what I needed to happen, because I knew I had her, like she did something like 18 scenes.
Yeah, wow.
And it was just her and Jarrell in the actual apartment acting. My other friends came via Zoom, like the other actresses who I knew I needed them to be comedic. Yeah. Because she was going to be, and so they're all comedians, all 3 of those women.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, they're all comedians, and I said, I wanted them to play my friend. So, and also the script was a lot from real life. So I was like, I know how it should sound. I know how it should feel. So I went in very intentional to show a sneak peek into the person everybody thinks is the strongest in the world, quote unquote, a Black woman, but really show the vulnerability, the frailty, just the humanness we all have. It's like, should we be just sleeping with somebody, or should it be a relationship? Or, do I take this money? Do I not take this money? You know what I mean? Like, just show those sort of things, and also be very intentional to never talk about weight. I did not want to talk about her body size in the movie, because people who are larger size don't always talk about their weight.
Yeah.
So I was very intentional, and I'm glad what I heard last night. A lot of people said it was such a little piece into a person that is never seen, and that was our intention. Like when all of us, like I explained it to everyone.
Yes.
I also got the whole crew when I was around the whole crew and we started the day. I played a spoken word artist poem about what it is like to be an Afro-Latina. And everybody just sat there and we just, had the chills. Some people were crying in the room, but just be like, this is who we are showing. We're showing someone who typically does not get to have this stage.
Yes.
And that just, so it was like, no matter what we're doing in this day, that's our focus, to show someone who's never been shown, Yeah.
I mean, you had us all crying last night on the stage. Both of you just stole the moment, and we all just paused in the most beautiful way. And I was looking at the audience last night. It was a beautiful speech. You had to be there. But everything that you just said right now is I'm so glad you're a filmmaker, but there's this, you're so also wonderfully sharp as a filmmaker, and everything is all the nuances and all the, the cooking for your car. I mean, the whole way you've orchestrated the whole thing is why you got such a beautiful piece of work that you made. We were saying off stage as well just before about how, this was such a celebration last night, because you said it's the first time your film has been in a program that is centered around Black storytellers, and you had such an amazing program of people. What was that experience like last night for you?
It was very special to be seen in a group of Black films, because I am a Black filmmaker. The way I look at the world is Black, even though I don't tell Black American stories. That's something, it interests me, of course, but I want to do what Martin Scorsese has done.
Yeah.
I want to do what Kevin Costner's done.
Yeah.
They get to make whatever they want about whoever they want. And I feel like, why not I do the same? One of my other films was about an Asian American immigrant, and this one focusing more on Al-Dahisa, but it is still from my lens, right?
Yeah.
And really listening to people, because we were so subtle with touch. I mean, I was so afraid that people wouldn't get it. But we won first prize in an Afro-Latino competition in Florida. And the reason why all of the judges said, it was so subtle and our lives are subtle. It doesn't hit over the head. And I was like, what made it so special, me being in a Black festival, is I listened to my collaborators who've actually lived the experience. Instead of me saying, no, I want to do it this way because I know. It was like, I felt like I took my Black experience, my gender experience in this country, and said, what is my place when I'm talking to these people who've lived this experience, and I want to make this story about them? And I listened to them, and then we came to this, yummy place. And so it made me very proud, especially when I saw the other films and I saw different portrayals in the particular Dominican community, also just movies that were from the Black community, Black American experience. I don't know, it's very special, because women of certain sizes being loved, it's so important, because it's health, it's humanity, it's like actual personhood. If you can be loved, by another person, that's really like a huge part of freedom. And so for me, I'm glad that a Black group of films could also show that on the screen, because I know in everybody's family who's Black, for the most part, they see that. Yeah. But for some reason, you go to Hollywood, you don't see that.
And what you portrayed, the epitome of what you portrayed in Soul Ties is how she loved herself, and that was so clear to see, so special, so powerful to see on the screen. And so I'm goodness me, it all gave us goosebumps watching it, because it was really beautiful to see just not only the story, but then also you behind camera and articulate that with the audience as well. I'm ready for what's next, Maegan. Where are we going? Where are you taking us next? Where are we going?
Well, I have two different scripts. One is about a white lesbian teacher that lives in Florida. She has been the history teacher that they've talked about forever, that's taught these great courses to people who don't look like her. The rollbacks come where you can't teach about Black history. because of queer theory. So a white lesbian teacher not being able to teach because of this, what does she do? That's one script that I have, and I'm trying to get funding for it.
Happening right now.
Yes, it's actually happening. So I'm trying to get funding for that. Another one is, and before Kamala even ran, it's called Retreat, and it's about the North American Civil War. What happens 5 years after it goes on? People leave the more fascist side and they want to come to the quote unquote utopian side. But when you're a Black woman, is it utopia? And then I also have a non-binary assigned male at birth character. They're both trying to get into the utopian side, but it's like it doesn't work for them because the world is made for white feminists. It's not made for them. So that was an idea that I had because what causes the North American Civil War? AOC becomes president after Trump. And
can we just connect?
I
want this. I want this.
But it causes major division. It's kind of like a Black Mirror in my mind. So those are the two directing things that I really have on the horizon. And then I have 3 or 4 films that I'm trying to just produce because I started out as a producer. Not even thinking. And then I have a big series on immigration. So those are all the things in the hopper for myself as this world of Hollywood is in contraction, that I'm trying to get up and going. So that's I have a company called Hudson Philmore, and so I've started acquiring IP, working with other people. But then when I realized I did this soul tie, I was like, I gotta direct more. I gotta write and direct. So those are my 2 other projects.
Amazing. Maegan, that's amazing. I want to see them all right now. I'm ready for it. Let's get the money.
I know, please.
Money, funding, people. Come to Maegan because they all need to be made.
And I know how to budget it already.
Producer. Come on. No, listen, we're just so happy to have you here. And thank you to all of your cast and crew and everyone that made it happen for you. And I'm already dying to see your next film. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maegan Salt, everybody.
Bye-bye.